everybody. Welcome to the program. It is Night Court. I'm Rob Fisher, Brevin Knight alongside, and we got a whole lot of show, BK. A whole lot of show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Just enjoying my golf tour right now.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying your golf tour. You're in a blank space right now, it looks like.
Well, this will be my place of residence for the next couple of days as I embark on my golf journey here in Connecticut.
All right. You can just...
That sounds like the start of something, right? Like it's gonna be something big, like this journey as he goes through Scotland, where he's playing in Pebble Beach.
No.
But there's some good golf courses in Connecticut, honestly.
There you go. Well, there are good golf courses everywhere, man. Right?
Honestly.
Are there any places that you can say they're bad? I mean, they're all bad?
No.
You can find.
You can find good, and as long as you have good friends,
right?
Then they help you find those other good places.
Absolutely. And then when people know we have people who come up to Grizzlies Live all the time. Hey, Brett.
Yes. Man, we're good. So I hopefully for everyone at home, you guys listened a couple episodes ago. We talked about the Wi-Fi, and in order for the Wi-Fi to work, you need to open the door. Well, I let Fish know that for him, today, for whatever reason, the door is not. It's not.
No,
working.
It's open. It's open, but it's not working.
Maybe
the bedroom door is closed downstairs. Open the bedroom door. So maybe. If you hear the family, by the way, that's just going to happen. That's going to happen on today's show. As I said, we got a whole lot of stuff to get into. Do you want to start with the NBA Finals, or do you want to talk some other things first before we get to the NBA?
No, let's go to the NBA Finals. Let's go where we at least act like our expertise is at.
Okay, Boston Celtics are taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Series will begin in Boston on Thursday night as these two will duel. Boston beat the Mavericks both times in the regular season, once by 29 at home, the other by 9 in Dallas. But, Brevin, Dallas is playing, I think that's the key to the Western Conference playoffs this year. The team that was playing the best is in the finals, and Dallas is playing the best right now. They're not the same team that you can throw that regular season stuff out the window.
Especially when you only played each other 2 times. I think that really you have to go back and look and see who was playing on whose team at what point in the season. What were the games like before, leading up into those games? What was after? There are a lot of circumstances when it comes to regular season games as to why things went the way they did. And in a 2-game set, there's too many other factors that could play a role. And so what we can talk about is where these teams are now. And as you just said, Dallas playing fantastic basketball. They made the changes with the trade to be able to get Gafford and get PJ Washington. And that has just flourished for them on both ends of the floor. Locked in defensively. And when you see a guy like Kyrie Irving really start to exert himself on the defensive side, then that means that everyone has to pick it up on the defensive end. And so they've been better there. And then on the offensive end, there hasn't been the his turn, your turn with he and Luka that was so defined. It was just within the flow of the game who had it going. They kept going. They played off of one another, deferred to the other when they had to. And I think the synergy between them and then the bigs rolling to the basket, finishing around the rim, and then timely shot making. Derrick Jones Jr., PJ Washington. They get Kleber back. And so I just think everyone, their stars have continued to play well, and their role players have elevated their games. And Boston has just continued to – it's almost like they turned it on when they had to. They had series where they always had an advantage really because of an injury. And I think when that happened, then there was just a little bit of a letdown for them. And so I think we'll see an engaged Celtics team that can score very well, and getting Porzingis back for them just helps in the depth chart, but it also helps in the spacing for their team to allow more room and force Dallas defensively to have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see Boston and that sense of urgency that they do have to start the series. We've seen them in the past where they've really struggled at home, especially to start a series. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think that'll be the case with Boston in this series, because I would imagine if we all know it and can see it, that they kind of were able to, don't want to use the word coast because I think they deserve more credit than that, but they were able to cruise through the playoffs into the NBA finals and never really were tested in the three series. So is that a detriment of you haven't had to play at that level that you're going to have to play to in this series of the NBA finals? Or is that something of they're probably pretty aware of it too, and they know they have to take it to another level?
I think it's the latter, and that they understand, and it's, we always talk about this. There's the human nature factor of sports that kicks in, and it's hard to fight it. Like, you can try to talk yourself out of it, but there are those games where you walk into the building and you're playing against a team, and it doesn't take anything to get you going. And we don't know really what that is or what create the scenario, and the moment creates that. And when that scenario or moment is tampered or tainted in any way, and a major piece is taken away, then that same feeling that you had, that you got to get yourself going. That's why I always say, make a big play, get something that is able to get the crowd into it, and then you're able to kind of build off of that. So I think that it's no different in what happened in these first playoff series for them. But now you look across at a healthy Mavericks team who was playing extremely well together, and have two guys who at any point in time could be the two best players on the floor. They'll be mentally engaged, I think, from the tip.
Is it fair to say Kyrie has grown?
Yes. I think he has he's done a better job of being a basketball player and letting just the basketball do the talking. I think that's and that's not to say in terms of the social justice and all of that, continue to speak on those things. I'm talking about on the basketball side. We started to just hear him talk more about basketball and not play basketball.
Dude used to walk around the court burning sage.
Right. That was
weird, man.
That was different. That was his belief at that time. But the bigger thing, I think we've seen him grow and mature on the court. We've seen him play, and so it's been nice to just see him adjust to talk about being better defensively to help this team, and still being able to play alongside, recognizing it's Luka's team, but still figuring out, okay, how do I fit and still be Kyrie Irving? So I'm very happy to see his success, and I've rooted for him, and I'll continue to root for him.
He's such an amazing talent, and the problem has been in the past, there's always been drama of some sort, and there's been no drama, and he's still an amazing player, and I think it's a lot of fun to watch these guys. His fourth NBA Finals. It's amazing. He's 15-1 in closeout games. That's incredible.
Listen, he has a big moment gene. Not everybody has that. Not everybody in those moments want that opportunity, and especially at the NBA level. I think all of us wanted it. High school, college, and then you get into the pros, and then you like, man, there's some other dudes out here they might just be a little bit better than I am.
Right. They might deserve it a little bit more than you. They've earned it.
Yeah, you got to you got to do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And so he is one of those guys that in those moments, he wants it and he has the ability to make the play. Like some guys may want it, but you don't come through. The thing with him is he wants it and he comes through.
Yeah. All right. Where does Porzingis make a difference for Boston?
Stretches the floor.
Huge addition, right?
Yeah, stretches the floor for them, and it gives them also a little bit more length at the rim defensively. That was a big thing. When you have to play Al Horford at that 5 position, you're not getting a lot of length on the defensive side, and they're going to need some of that length. And that works twofold in that. And if he's playing pick and roll defensively, at least if he's up to the level of the ball, his length now forces whether it's Luka or Kyrie, if they're trying to make that pass to the big, every pass will have to either be something that is bounce pass or they have to take one extra dribble to get around because he's so long. To try to loop the ball over the top allows the weak side defense to pull in. And so he can help them, like I said, with his length at the rim defensively, but also length on pick and rolls with Kyrie and Luka. And then on offensive end, shoots the ball out to the three-point line. He also can make plays. And so when everything is as spaced as it is, guys cutting to the basket, he'll be able to find them. So I just think he brings another level of skill onto the floor for the Celtics.
Congratulations, Xavier Tillman in the NBA Finals.
Yes.
How about that?
X going to give it to you.
X going to give it to you. That's a pretty nice little deal. All right, who's going to win this series? Who you like?
I'm going with Boston in 7.
7.
Okay. I think it's going to be a long series just because both of these teams are good on both ends, and it's going to take big efforts from either side to take control. And so I think there'll be some runs because these are perimeter shooting teams. There are going to be some runs, and that'll keep teams in. But both of them have very good number 1 players. I call between Tatum, Brown, Kyrie, Luka for their teams. They have both of them have 2 1As. and so when you get late in games, it's nice to have that to go to. But both teams also have good role guys, and you would tend to say that the Celtics role guys have been there, been in these roles before, should have a little bit more of an edge than the Mavericks role guys.
Yeah, although the Mavericks role guys have played so well here recently.
Yes.
And you wonder what a week off does for these teams too. I'm going with Dallas. I'm going to go with Dallas. I just like I like their 2 guys better than Boston's 2 guys, and I think Dallas being tested in Boston not being tested does make a difference. So I'm gonna go with the Dallas Mavericks, and I'll go with 7 games. I'd love to see it go 7 games, and that'd be fun. Dallas to win it on the road. Dallas went on the road in Game 7. That'd be kind of cool. All right, there you go. There we have it. Our picks for the NBA Finals. Who are you picking in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals? We got the Rangers not the Rangers. We got the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton has played a lot better in the second half of the season this year, and are playing really good. And they
made a coaching move, as you know.
How about made a coaching move and got that much better?
Yeah.
Unlike some NBA teams that made coaching moves and made a lateral move or went down as the season has gone along. Not saying anything in particular, but the Panthers. The thing for them is being their second Stanley Cup Finals. I think the hunger, the experience of being there, over the nostalgia of Edmonton trying to win a Stanley Cup championship for a Canadian team, which hadn't been done in over 30 years. I think the Panthers, though, with their skill, they're able to win this one.
That was pretty impressive.
Don't try to trip me up, baby. I'm all knowing with these sports. I'm all knowing.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I believe the Florida Panthers are the better team, but I think Edmonton's the most exciting team to watch in hockey. So I'm going to root for them. They're fun. They can score. They got the best player in the game in Connor McDavid. Leon Draisaitl's not bad either, and they're one of the most potent duos in the league. So I think I'm rooting for Edmonton, but Florida's probably. I'm going to take Edmonton in 6 games, but yeah, go Oilers. That's who I'm rooting for, and that's who I'm picking. I'll pick the Edmonton Oilers. But Florida's good; they're really good down there.
How about
Miami,
we talk about
where hockey was originated?
How about hockey? Your best teams. You talk. Tampa Bay wins a couple of Stanley Cups, and we're talking about the Panthers in back-to-back finals in Florida. Hockey.
Florida, Miami, Miami, Florida,
Miami.
Yeah,
people go in there. People got to
not just there. No, not there on the little whatever that thing's called.
No,
the panhandle.
This is for real. They go in there they got shorts, t-shirts, but they got a bag of clothes. So they walk into the arena and they put on the arena clothes, and then they change when they come out. It's the only place where they allow large size bags in the arena.
Absolutely, because it's cold. It's colder than a movie theater in those places.
Yeah, exactly. But
when you walk out frozen.
When you walk out there, it's 100 degrees. Yeah, people passing out trying to get to their cars,
wearing their sweaters and a hoodie over that,
right, with a scully on.
Oh. Some other NBA news, the Grizzlies reportedly could be moving up to number 3. So that's exciting. I'm excited about it. Not really, because what's going to happen? I must be the worst guest on radio shows. Because when things like this story come out, they ask me what I think, and I say, I don't know.
Well, listen to this. When you just alerted me to them be moving up to 3rd, I'm like, so who does it mean we take?
Yeah, right. I'm not going to ask you. Don't worry about it. And then they'll say,
I'm so happy you did.
And then they'll say, well, what do you think if they stay at 9? I don't know.
Who will they take at 9?
Whoever they take in this draft, if they take someone, I'm on board. And then when we talk to him, we'll love him. And then he's ours. So let's go Grizz. But until then, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who they're talking to. And none of you people do either. They keep talking about it.
I did an interview today, and they asked me, I had a really good interview too. He asked me, as close as you are with the team and being around them, like what's the talk of who they're talking about drafting or what the needs are that they want to address in the draft. And I said, I know exactly what you know. Nothing.
Right? But that doesn't make a good guest.
It doesn't. You got to not be so honest. You know, like you got to go in there and just give them something. They need something. Like, what can we clip off that's gonna make people want to listen to this? You got to give me something. And I tell them, I don't know. I can tell you what I think they need, but this is, I don't have any inside information. It's not part of my job.
No, absolutely. All right. Ty Lue gets 5 years, $70 million. That's cool.
Ty Lue, man, he has been a wanted man in coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's nice to work for an owner who has endless pockets and ballroom and be a guy who really loves you as the coach of his team.
The Cavaliers fired J.B. Bickerstaff to find someone who can take them to the next level, right? They're interviewing Micah Nori, the guy who just became popular a month ago, coaching the Minnesota Timberwolves, and James Borrego are the two that they're going after.
And the problem with that statement is usually when you say, okay, we're going the person that will take to the next step is someone that has some level of a proven track record. Not unknowns like Borrego, who's very highly thought of, and who I think is a good coach, good mind. But I'm saying to say he can take you further than JB can. I don't know how when there's no track record with it. And the Minnesota guy, another really good guy, knows the game, great minds, been around it. But again, there's no track record to say that he has something that will put you over the top. So I said the decision that they made was so rash of a decision, and it was unrealistic.
And a lot of NBA decisions are made that way.
Right. It was. What more were you expecting?
Yeah. Lakers are zeroing in reportedly on JJ Redick to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. JJ Redick.
It's we said last relationships, and you know what? I wish him the best. I'm no hater. Hey, listen, could there have been somebody else? Yeah, it always could have been somebody else. That's the way that they feel as though they can win. Then we'll all sit back and see. But relationships matter.
Yes, and certainly with JJ Redick, as that deal is almost finalized. Mike Brown and the Kings tabled talks on a new deal, but they got a deal done. $8.5 million for Mike Brown, $8.5 million annually in the 2 seasons on the contract that are 2 years after next year, so 3 years basically. He was looking for about $10 million, and he got $8.5 million. I mean, he was making $4.5 million. He's doing all right, but I thought this was terrible news last week because it made me think, boy, what are the Sacramento Kings doing this time?
Right.
And at least they got the deal done. So looking at it from their perspective, they at least signed him, and they signed him to what more than a dead duck type of deal. So he's got a 3-year deal.
Yeah, and I'm happy for Mike. I'm happy for the team too, because if they want to continue to move in the right direction, you need some continuity at some point in time. And I think he's a good guy for you to continue to follow behind. Especially when you have young players like they do, who they're going to need to influence and move forward. And he's been around winning basketball. That means, see, that's what if you talk about, we're moving on from you because we want to move in a different direction to give us a chance to move up that ladder. All right, we're bringing in Mike Brown. Then you're like, okay, all right,
yeah,
I see what you mean. Been there, done that. Okay. Been around it for a long time. Yeah. Okay. Other way, another head scratch.
Yeah. James Harden. You familiar with James Harden?
I know him a little bit.
Yeah. He was on a podcast recently and was asked how he hopes to be remembered when it's all said and done. James Harden responded and said that I was a winner. Put the money aside. I really love and enjoy the game of basketball. James Harden, ladies and gentlemen. That's impressive.
Well,
I was a winner. The man hasn't won squat, first of all.
That's what I was about to say. You know me, I am one of the worst at the history and who's done what, but I just don't remember. I don't remember like him having really big, deep playoff runs.
He's won nothing. In fact, he's disappeared in a lot of playoff games. And the other thing is this is a man who quit on 2 teams.
Yeah.
Quit. Forced to trade by quitting on 2 teams. Winner, loser, James Harden.
Winner, no chicken dinner.
No chicken dinner. Yeah, my God. That was
Now listen, know what he will go down is, again, one of the best talents in the game. Yeah. Really revolutionized in terms of picking up fouls, the way he shot the ball, he played off the dribble. Those things you can't deny that side.
He's amazing.
But But that's just within yourself. It didn't have the influence on everyone else in order for your teams to win.
No. All right. It's that portion of the show that now we must, we got to give in and do what everybody else in the world is doing and talk about Caitlin Clark. I'll go ahead and let me go ahead and give you my take on the whole situation, what's going on with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark it was fun to watch. I'll say it. She was amazing. I mean, watching her in the NCAA tournament and leading up to the tournament, what she did her senior year and breaking the records. And but that's all I've seen of her. And I think that's all a lot of people have seen of her. I think the people who are this whole WNBA Caitlin Clark phenomenon over the last 3 days happened for one reason and one reason only. It's because of sports media and sports radio and sports television need something to talk about while there are no NBA games for a week. And it gives you something to talk about for 3 days. And then we find out that you people who are talking so much about the NBA and talking about Caitlin Clark actually get called out on the fact that you don't have an idea what you're actually talking about. Then why don't we all just erase the last 3 days from our memories, forget about it, and let's move on. And if we want to talk about the WNBA, we have people who are actually knowledgeable about the WNBA talk about the WNBA, because these people who have been watching it for, I don't know, a month, ever, they need to shut up. And the people, but then the people who are trying to tell me that I need to watch and I don't want that pressure either. We just need to get rid of. We need to get rid of the last 4 days. That's all.
Well, listen, my take on it is very similar to yours in that she became a phenomenon with the way that she broke records in terms of the scoring way, in the way that they were able to win. And
I watched more women's basketball because of it.
Yes, because of it. She galvanized an entire group of people that continued to watch it. And that same steam continued as she was coming into the WNBA. The problem is you're coming in to playing against grown women now who have been doing it for some time and feel as though they have been shouldering the load of this professional basketball for so long. And now you're not just going to allow some little girl now to just come in and she's going to just take all of this shine of what it is. So, yeah, it's a part of the game that happens from time to time in terms of people coming in. But there's so much emphasis put on her that you're not talking about all of the other young ladies that have come into the league and what they've been able to do. And they've taken their fair share of hits or questionable calls as they've gone forward. Listen, the physical nature of the game has always been there. I just think that now, because the stage is what it is and what's been put on, now it's just more eyeballs watching it than there ever was before. There's more video of it now than it was before. But those ladies have been balling and doing their thing, and in no way, shape, or form were you're going to allow any youngster to come into the league in any way without there being some type of ushering in for them.
No sport would.
That's just the level of the sport. It's what happens, and so it's so much. So much has been put on her that I told her they set her up. This was a setup. You just continue to talk about her as much as you are. What she's going to do for the W. Look at what the ticket sales are. And then what these other ladies like, shoot, we're just as good. If you were to give me this much airtime on major networks, then it would be better also. So you got to take the bumps and bruises that go along with being a rookie in professional sports.
Yeah. All right. American Gladiators. You're familiar with American Gladiators, bro?
Oh, I am.
American Gladiators. For those who don't know, it was a division series from 1989 to 1996, hosted by Mike Adamle and Joe Theismann. And there were 30 gladiators, and then they would take regular people. It was like one of the first reality shows. They would take regular people who would have to fight the steroid-induced gladiators. And then they'd have to go through events called like the Gauntlet, which is returning on the new American Gladiators Prime Video. They got a reboot of American Gladiators. It's coming back.
Listen, for all you youngsters out there that may be listening to this, you just got to turn it on and see what it was. It was a bunch of physically fit gladiators, or what they would call, and they would just beat the hell out of the contestants as they tried to do different tasks. I mean, shoot stuff at them, hit them with things.
There was one with, it was like the T-shirt cannon, but they were filled with tennis balls.
Tennis balls, yeah. And you would hear it. Boom, 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 boom. It's the first on TV abuse of people that was okay.
That's exactly right. So American Gladiators is returning. We're all very excited about that. All right. You know who we got to toast this week?
Who we toasting?
I was at Italian Fest this week.
Okay.
And so I want to toast out my favorite Italians, if that would be okay.
Okay.
Number one on the list, one of the all-time hockey greats. I used to host a hockey show with him when I worked in Las Vegas. Phil Esposito, the great Phil Esposito. Toast to him. Toast to the great Mary Lou Retton, who was one of my first crushes as a child. Mary Lou.
I'm with you on that one.
And then my other one is Joe DiMaggio, who's one of the all-time great Italians. I mean, he was with Marilyn Monroe. And my best friend in high school, his name was Joe DiMaggio. How about that?
No relation, you said, to Joe DiMaggio.
No relation, didn't like baseball. But it was weird when we made like dinner reservations in college and be like, hey, Joe DiMaggio, your table's ready? It's like, yeah, that's me. You related? No, not. But Italian Fest was awesome. Had a good time there. Got to, use a porta potty all day. That's always exciting. When's the last time you've used a porta potty?
It's been some time. I'm not a big festival goer.
Yeah.
So I haven't. I guess on the last one would be on our bus when we were traveling somewhere. I guess that'd be considered porta potties, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, they're interesting now because they now have a urinal and a bowl in the porta potty. I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't.
They've advanced them. I never knew that.
Yeah, so you can do that, which is good because although I'm not a big urinal guy, I always go in the stall. I always go in the stall for two reasons. One, I don't want people to look at my shoes and say, "Hey, fish, nice shoot," while I'm going to the bathroom. Don't want that to happen. The other one is I've seen enough television that if you're at a urinal, you could get brutally attacked from behind and never see it coming and head into the urinal, just that bust your head open and everything. If you're in the stall, they got to break down the door first. So
where are you going to the bathroom that you worry like that? I've never worried about that.
I don't know. I watch a little too much TV. So yeah, that's
I've never thought of that when I go. But I guess I do go. I keep just an eye.
Yeah. I don't want to have to keep it. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. I'm gonna go in the stall every time.
Like a little kid.
All right, that's gonna do it for us here.
Anyone in here?
That's good. Yeah, I do that. Yeah. Hello, is this one open? Available? Yeah, no kidding, man. Kids, how do they pee so long? I mean, I was waiting in line of the darn thing, and I was like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
Gee.
It's a euro right there. Nah, I'm okay. You got it. Dude back there looks a little sketchy. Might bang my head into it.
You never know. All right, that'll do it for us here on this edition of Night Court. Thanks for joining us. If you're listening to the podcast, you can also watch the podcast now. You can do that at Bluff City Media is where you can find it. and Bluff City Media YouTube page, and you can watch each and every episode of Night Court, as long as listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. For BK, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. We'll do it again next week here on Night Court.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.